So next up, I'd like to present Tim Ling and Steve Sintini, who will be joining us after this video for the Q&A. Tim will be walking us through how Iberia have implemented their product branding with NDC. So we can go ahead and roll the clip. Jojo, thank you.
Let me start by thanking Chanel and Vanny and the rest of the IATA team for putting their trust in Iberia to do this presentation. Iberia has been involved in the NDC journey from the very beginning in 2012. The journey has been, well, like an adventure holiday, full of surprises all along the way. Led by Miguel Anales, who is the director of all things digital in Iberia in the commercial and passenger area. And we have Stephen Sintini. He's the manager of our NDC channel. He joined us from one of the largest, if not the largest, travel agency in Spain and has been in Iberia since 2016. He brought with him a fresh and agile approach to our NDC development. We have 3 product owners with Stephen in the commercial area, together with 4 in an onboarding team. To my right, we have Yolanda Blanco. She has a long history and a wealth of experience in Iberia, especially working in our IT department with our receiver inventory system and DCS systems. To my left, we have Jose Antonio. He also has many years of extensive experience in Iberia, especially in the IT area, and brings a wealth and a valuable amount of technical knowledge and experience from various areas in the company. I've been in the airline industry ever since I joined Iberia in the UK in April 1984. I've been working in the distribution area since the beginning of the 90s, and I've been involved in NDC since that first DDX working group in Geneva back in July 2012. Here's a quick look at what we'll be presenting today. First, we'd like to focus our minds and set a little context around what we're going to be discussing. Then, we can ensure that everyone is on a similar page as to what branded fares is. After that, we can imagine what can be achieved, followed by implementation and how we got creative using a bit of old school stuff. Once we've talked about what works, and we'll briefly touch on the impact on the orders. And then we have a brief look at our future. Finally, we'll have a few minutes for any questions you may have. Branded fares is primarily focused on the shopping and reshopping part of the process, although it can also affect the order, as we'll see later. But as the word brand, and of course its origin, brings to mind, what do we want to do? Well, we want to burn or sear our identifying mark into the mind of our customers. We each want our unique and identifying mark to be in the shop window. However, some carriers carry a lot of baggage, and I mean that metaphorically as well as literally. Some of us still load fares in ATPCO from where they are distributed to various GDS and CRS and availability pricing engines. Some of us use our own in-house systems and others contract it out to third parties. Yes, every airline is different. So some may, like us, use and will probably continue to use ATPCO to distribute fares well into the future. Some airlines today carry a lot less baggage and have a lot more simplified pricing structure, therefore requiring a less complex pricing and availability mechanism. We all, though, want to construct offers and merchandise them in a way that they are noticed. However, we all have something in common. We want our customers to identify our brand. We have various products, each with their own features and target market. And our customers want to make an informed choice of which products to purchase. Whether it be on our own airline website or an online agency or on the screen used by a travel agent. We want our products clearly identified. We want our customers to easily compare one product with another. Our customers want to make an informed choice of which product to purchase. What is the difference between economy and premium economy? Which product includes bags or seat selection? Can I change my return journey should I need to? Does the product allow me to purchase fast track should I decide I want it? Iberia's implementation is using the 17.2 version of the IATA schema. Now, remembering a lesson from many years ago when working in marketing department of Iberia London, I want to KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So we got a little creative. We use ATPCO branded fares with the optional services industry subcodes to distribute our fares. This allows us to expose our product attributes in a structured way, allowing our sellers to group them into their categories. For example, using the group and subgroup, the seller can display all the baggage service together and then subgroup them into types of baggage like carry-on or hold or sporting equipment. The same could be applied to, say, in-flight entertainment, meals, and whatever else you wish to offer. However, 17.2 does not have anything specific for this, so we got a little creative. Now, down here, you have a grid view of an air shopping response. So here you can see where we use the descriptions within the price class to expose the branded fares information in a structured way. And over here, for the real nerds in the room, we have a bit of raw XML where you can see the simple old school solution applied, giving you all an idea of my age, although I know I don't look that old. Taking a leaf out of AirImp and the extended point of sale information, we simply separated each element with an oblique, leaving an empty space where there's no value. And remember I mentioned the effect on the order earlier? Well, we just have to remember that you might want to save that brand information in the order, especially if you want to be able to display what attributes and options were included in the offer order when it was purchased. The brand may have changed since then. More information on how we implemented this can be found in our publicly accessible NDC document pages at the address you see here. So, what does the future hold for us? Which seat do you want? Would you like a nice meal? What would you like to splash out on for that special trip? Today we offer a few ancillary services like seats and bags through NDC, but there's many more on their way. In our web we have meals, bags of various sizes, special luggage, priority boarding, and many other services in the pipeline. Today, Iberia uses ATP co-branded fares with the optional services industry subcodes. Now, for some, this may be enough. However, as we know, changes are constant and we need to adapt. What can help us to move forward? The airline taxonomy was created with the goal to ensure that the key and most relevant services based on today's SSRs and reasons for issuance codes and reasons for issuance subcodes were taken into account. And at the same time, it was expanded to allow for new possibilities through NDC. With the NDC standard, this will allow us to categorize products and attributes in a common way, yet still allow each and every one of us to offer our own unique brands and products in a way that we want to. So what do we need? We believe that this will require some additional structure in the NDC messages to reflect the brands in the correct way. The price class seems the most obvious place to put them, and we would be interested to know if anyone thinks they might be required at segment level. A link to the service definition is probably going to be required, as many of these brand attributes will be services that can be purchased in the ordering and the servicing flows. And of course, let's not forget an important part of our products, the restrictions that can apply to them when it comes to changes and cancellations. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And thank you for your attention. We hope that this simple presentation has helped you understand how we in Iberia have implemented branded fares in our NDC. And we also hope that in some small way, it helps you to think about the way forward. Well, it's now your opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. So please feel free to ask questions and we'll try to answer them.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Tim. Before we move to Q&A, I was wondering if we could actually roll with the poll we have. Since most of you in the audience today are live with your implementations, we just wanted to hear from you if you're currently using the branded fares. So I'll just give you a few seconds there, and then we'll be joined by Tim and Steve for any questions. Okay. All right, that's an overwhelming yes then. Very interesting. Great, so thanks for participating in the poll. We'll just ask Tim and Steve to come online with their webcams now. And we can start with the Q&A.
Hi, Danny.
Hey guys.
How are you?
Thanks again for the presentation. Very polished and
Thank
insightful.
you for getting us. And thanks, Tim, for the great presentation.
This one's not a question, but it's actually a very creative presentation and very inspirational. Thank you, guys. Another comment here is segment seems better. Think of interlining in the future. It's not phrased as a question, but maybe any thoughts or remarks when we talk about interlining and how this feature could impact interlining.
Well, yes, that's why I know I posed it as a question, but I think I know the answer obviously in my own head, that when you've got an interline connection, you're going to need the brand information at segment level. It's kind of a no-brainer, but it's one of those things you want people to think about.
Sure. One from me, Jens, in terms like how urgent in terms of timing, or how soon would you want to see this feature in the standards? Are there any?
Next week.
Well, obviously, I think the sooner the better. Branded fares is certainly extremely important for airlines, for agencies, and ultimately, obviously, for customers to make sure they make the right decision when they buy something. So the sooner the better.
Yeah. Okay. And given that this is a bit of a custom interpretation of the price class, so you kind of extended it by making creative use of description elements. On the API consumer side with your partners, was it relatively painless or challenging to implement this kind of customization on their end?
Well, this is a relatively new version of our 17.2 API. So it is going live right now with some of our partner agencies and aggregators. So we still don't have implementations. We are certifying agents and aggregators against this new version. I do think some of them will take the opportunity and interpret that text, which is sort of machine readable. It's really simple to read automatically. But we also believe someone will simply put that text somewhere and let the agents read it on their screen. It will depend.
Okay. Well, this ties in a bit with the next question from the audience. How easy or complicated is it to create categories based on codes and subcodes?
I'd say very easy when it's established already in the ATP code lists. So you've just got to think, you've got the codes already that will say, well, this is meals or this is bags. So once you know those codes, which are set in the standard already, you just take that and group things. So as I've said, very simply, it's being taken a very simple, solution. Look at it. It's that you've got your bags, you've got your meals, you've got your various groups, and then the subgroups. It's easy enough to take that and then take the descriptions and put them there.
Great, thanks. That's all the questions we have. Sorry, there's another. Okay, thank you, Chanel. On the chat. Bear with me, digging up another question. Yes. Tim, Steve, hi. Why not augmentation points to introduce your own elements rather than text concatenation?
One, because when we talk augmentation points in our tech discussions with IT, we get very, very, very crude words coming back at us sometimes. Faces, we don't enjoy augmentation points at the moment. Okay, it's not to say that in future that would be a solution, but we didn't go down that path. We know people do use augmentation points, but that in itself brings its own complexities and added overhead you have to carry.
Sure. To be perfectly fair, I think in 17.2 augmentation points were also not consistently spread across all messages. There were multiple ones hidden in metadata. So, great. Well, one comment from me. I really hope you'll be joining the industry group, the standards group effort to hash this feature out for the future release. So.
Absolutely. Yep.
Looking forward to seeing you there. All right, Tim and Steve, thanks again very much for this presentation.